Okay, so you want a good dining chair.
A good one.
Yeah, one that lasts.
One that can stand up to some serious use.
Yeah, exactly. Not just one that looks nice, but one that'll actually hold up over time.
Whether it's in like a busy restaurant
Oh,
or,
yeah. Or just your family's dining room.
yeah, just everyday life.
So today, we're going to take a deep dive into dining chair durability
And we're going to be looking at information
from a company called ASKT.
yeah, have you heard of them?
I have. They're a furniture company, and they really focus on quality and testing.
They've got a really interesting approach.
They do. They've been around for over 20 years.
Wow.
They have clients all over the world, especially in Europe.
I've heard they're really well known for making like really durable chairs.
Yeah, they have that reputation.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So let's start with the fabric.
Okay, fabric.
Because think about it, it's the part of the chair that gets the most wear and tear.
Right, spills.
Spills, fading from the sun.
Yeah, just people constantly rubbing against it.
Yeah, getting up and down, all that stuff.
So the fabric really takes a beating.
It does. So ASKT, they've got all these tests to make sure their fabrics can actually handle all that.
That makes sense.
Like they test for something called color fastness.
Color fast.
Yeah, so you know how sometimes you have a shirt or something and it fades in the sun?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And then it just doesn't look as good.
Right.
Well, they test for that with their fabrics to make sure the color stays vibrant.
So, like, you buy a beautiful chair, and then a couple months later, it's not all faded and weird.
Exactly.
That's really smart.
Yeah, they use these specific standards to simulate sunlight and washing.
It's almost like they're fast-forwarding time.
Yeah, to see how the fabric holds up over time.
That's a good way to put it.
And they're not just like guessing, they're actually using like science to make sure the quality's there.
I like that, the science of it.
Yeah. And then they also have these tests for abrasion resistance.
Abrasion resistance, okay?
Yeah, and that's basically like wear and tear from everyday use.
Like rubbing, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rubbing, shifting around on the chair, all that.
Got it.
And they use these tests called the Martindale and Weizenbeek tests.
Those are the names of the tests.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds complicated, but basically it's like a machine that rubs the fabric hundreds of thousands of times.
Wow, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, to see how it holds up.
That's serious testing.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
But I mean, wouldn't all that testing make the chairs more expensive?
That's a good question.
Like, is it really necessary for just a regular person who wants to buy a chair?
Well, yeah, ASKT chairs might be a little bit more expensive up front,
Okay.
but you have to think about it like a long-term investment.
Right, long term.
Because if the chair lasts for years and years,
So you won't have to replace it,
exactly, you won't have to keep buying new chairs all the time.
which saves you money.
Yeah, and it's better for the environment.
It is, yeah. You're
Yeah.
not just throwing away chairs every couple of years.
Right, so it's about shifting from like that disposable mindset.
To a durable mindset.
Yeah, investing in pieces that are really built to last.
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
And they don't just stop at abrasion resistance. They also think about things like breathability.
Breathability.
Yeah, like how well the fabric breathes,
Oh, okay.
which is especially important if you live in a hotter climate.
Or if you're having a long dinner party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stuck to a sweaty chair.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
Makes sense.
And of course, then there are spills.
Ah, yes, the inevitable spills.
Red wine, coffee, greasy food.
Oh, all the culprits?
Yeah, they can really ruin a chair,
They can, especially if you have kids.
especially with kids.
Oh, yeah,
But ASKT, they test for that too.
they do.
Yeah, they have tests for water resistance and stain resistance.
So they're thinking about everything.
They are. They're thinking about all the things that, you might worry about as a buyer.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, will this chair actually hold up to real life?
Right.
They're testing for all those things.
So you can be confident that it'll actually last.
Exactly. It's about peace of mind.
That's a good point.
Yeah, knowing that your chairs can handle, everyday life.
But the fabric's only one part of the chair.
It is, yeah.
What about the structure of the chair itself?
Oh, yeah, like the frame.
And how do they make sure the frame is durable?
That's a great question, and we're going to get into that next.
So the fabric, that's one thing.
Yeah,
But what about the actual chair?
the frame.
The structure, yeah.
So that's where ASKT really goes beyond just the surface.
Okay.
They actually test the entire chair
To make sure it's strong.
to make sure it's strong. Yeah, to make sure the whole thing holds up.
What kind of tests do they do?
Well, they start with the armrests.
With armrests.
Yeah, because think about it. People put a lot of pressure on armrests.
Oh, yeah. You push yourself up from the table.
Exactly.
You lean on them.
So they do this test called a downward static load test.
Downward static load test.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, but basically they put a lot of weight on the armrests
To see if they'll break.
to see how much weight they can take before they break.
Okay,
Like they're simulating someone really leaning hard on those armrests.
that makes sense.
And then they also test the seat and the backrest.
Oh, right. Those are important too.
Yeah, I mean, those are the parts that are really supporting your weight.
The most important part.
Yeah, so they do these lateral and front end static load tests.
Lateral and front end.
Yeah, so it's basically applying pressure from different angles
Oh, I see.
to make sure the chair won't, like, collapse.
Like if someone leans back too far?
Yeah, or if you have, a heavier person sitting in the chair,
Or a kid who likes to jump around.
especially a kid who likes to jump around.
Yeah.
And then they even have a test for, you know how sometimes people just plop down into a chair?
I do that.
Yeah, with a little too much
A
enthusiasm.
little too much force.
Yeah, so they have a test that simulates that.
They do?
Yeah, they call it the seat impact test.
The seat impact test. Okay.
And they basically drop a weight onto the seat.
From a certain height, I'm guessing?
Yeah, to make sure the seat doesn't crack or lose its shape.
So it can withstand those, like, sudden impacts.
Exactly.
Pretty amazing they've thought of all this.
I know. And for all these tests, they use like really advanced technology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've got all these machines and sensors.
So they can really measure everything precisely.
Yeah, it's not just like eyeballing it.
It's real science.
It's real science.
So it sounds like they're really combining, like, the traditional craftsmanship of furniture making with modern technology.
Yeah, they're taking the best of both worlds.
And all this testing, it really gives you peace of mind as a buyer, knowing that the chair's been through all that.
Yeah, you know it's going to last.
You know it can handle, whatever you throw at it.
Exactly. Spilled drinks, rambunctious kids, you name it.
And in the long run, that saves you money and resources.
Yeah, you're not constantly buying new chairs.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
So it's not just about the durability of the chair itself.
It's about the bigger picture.
It's about, like, a more sustainable approach to furniture.
That's a good point. What does this mean for the furniture industry as a whole?
Yeah, that's a great question. It makes you think,
About,
like, could other companies do this?
could they do all this testing? Yeah, it's a good question.
It kind of sets a new standard.
For the whole industry, maybe?
Yeah, not just for quality, but for, like, transparency, too.
Right, because not every company is going to tell you exactly how they test their products.
Exactly. So what if all furniture was made like this?
Tested like this, you mean?
Yeah. Would we see less of that, like, fast furniture?
Oh, yeah, the stuff that falls apart after a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost like fast fashion. You buy it, you wear it a few times, and then it's gone.
And then you have to buy more.
And more, exactly.
So maybe it's about shifting our mindset with furniture, too.
Like investing in pieces that'll last longer.
Yeah. Like buying those classic pieces that never go out of style.
That you can keep for years.
Yeah, and it's better for the environment, too.
Definitely. Less waste.
And it's not just furniture, either.
What else?
Like, what if everything was made this way?
Everything was tested for durability, you mean?
Yeah. Like clothes.
Oh, yeah?
Imagine if your clothes never faded or stained.
And they lasted for years and years.
Yeah. And kids' toys.
Oh, yeah.
That could actually withstand, like, real play.
That would be amazing.
It would. So maybe durability could become, like, a major selling point.
For everything.
Yeah. Like, people are already thinking more about sustainability.
Right. They want things that are made ethically and that'll last.
So it's not just about the price tag anymore,
It's about the value.
the long-term value.
Yeah.
And maybe companies like ASKT are showing us that it's possible
That you can make things that are built to last.
and that people will actually pay for that.
I think so. Yeah. People are starting to realize that it's worth it.
So as you're out there shopping for dining chairs,
Or anything else.
yeah, remember this deep dive.
Think about durability.
Think about the testing.
And invest in quality.
Choose those pieces that are going to stand the test of time.
And maybe even help create a more sustainable future.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into dining chair durability.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you learned something new today, and maybe you'll even look at your chairs a little differently now.
And next time you're shopping for furniture, think about the tests.
Think about the durability and choose wisely.